Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus Cornix, and welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game I played for a week and then I'll talk about it. This week's game is Super Bomberman 2 for the Super Nintendo. It was released in 1994, developed by Produce, published by Hudson Soft, Virgin Interactive or Nintendo depending on the country. And also there'll be spoilers up ahead just so you know, but first a little backstory. I had no idea what games to play this week, so I picked a random one and it turned out to be Bomberman or Super Bomberman 2. So as you start up the game, there's an intro cutscene with 5 bad guys in a massive ship and they are trying to head for Earth, I guess. And then there is a splash screen with the game's title. So you have a couple of options from here. You can choose a normal game, which is just the adventure mode, I guess, and then you have battle game. And battle game is something really cool that I found out about. Apparently, Hudson Soft Game has this multi-tap that you can plug into the second controller port, so this game technically supports 4-player, which is kind of cool. And the last option is password, so once you get a game over in this game, you will have a 4-digit password, I believe, that you can punch in and go back right where you left off. So I went with normal game first, and you are supposed to take out the main blue guy, the boss guy. And I don't think they are given names, but he's basically a knight or a cyborg in a blue armor. But before you can go to him, you have to beat his minions. You do that by clearing a couple of stages and, well, dealing with his minions. So the first level, 1-1, you're supposed to take out 3 of these alien blue-looking birds. That's the best description I can give. And you do this by placing down bombs on the battlefield. There's also these chests throughout the levels that will contain some power-ups. They may or may not, and those range from various, I'll talk about them later on, I guess. So I also found out this week that you can't walk into enemies because then you will die instantly, and that's about it. You can also blow yourself up with the bombs. And it's one of those things that I forgot. If you pick up a power-ups such as the fire, your blast radius becomes a bit longer. So the way I can describe it is that if you place a bomb in an area, you'll go up in a D-pad pattern like up, down, left and right at the same time. And if you have this power up, the flame or whatever, it extends the blast radius. And sometimes you just kill yourself because you weren't thinking out the strategy before you placed it. There are a couple of power-ups that I'll talk about later on, as I said, but throughout the game you get bombarded with new kind of stuff all the time, and it's very hard to keep track of what you have. So throughout the game you can pick up these power-ups. You have the heart, which grants you 1 extra hit, otherwise you go down with 1 hit. You can have these extra bombs that you can pick up, because in the beginning of the game Bomberman can only place 1 bomb. Pick up more of these, then you can pick up more bombs. You have the rollerblades, which makes Bomberman go faster. Then you have these proximity mines, which you actually detonate with another button. They will be introduced much later into the game, but they're kind of cool mechanic because usually you want to have lure an enemy to a location and blow out the bomb, but with this proximity mine it's a lot easier. There are also red apples that you can pick up. These are a bit rare. I found it on a couple of occasions when I was struggling with a level, but there's so many more power-ups that I didn't even get, but these are the ones that I remember off the top of my head anyway. So the first thing I did when I entered the stage 1-2 was to blow myself up. I placed a bomb near a dynamite, and I didn't realize that it more or less clears the screen that you are on, if that makes sense. This level also introduces the Easter men statues, which are just jumping around and you have to bomb them in a particular pattern. There's also a thing I forgot to talk about. When you progress from one stage to the other, you have these buttons that you need to blow up to proceed to open up a door, basically. It's basically like a switch, but you bomb and then, yeah, they open the door. So level 1-3 introduces these magnetic enemies, these blue head with red horns, and I never found a good way to deal with them. I just got lucky every time when I, tried to take them out. Level 1-4 introduces these angry bombs, 3 of them, and they can actually blow other enemies up as well. So level 1-5 combines the magnetic enemies and the angry bombs, and I also found my first red apple here for high score, and I figured out how the blast pits work. So there are these holes in the ground where you can put bombs. So if you put a bomb in there, it will create a shockwave when it explodes that will go straight in a line until it hits a wall. And that's useful to deal with enemies that just go in a straight line. I also figured out how the magnets worked, and it's kind of stupid. You place a bomb near a magnet, and then when it explodes, it will change the direction. And if the magnet is placed in a certain way, it will draw the bomb against it, like a real magnet would with metal and stuff. And as I said, it took a lot of time for me to figure out these magnets, and I mostly blew myself up all the time. But that's the good thing about this game. If you get a game over, you get a password, but you can continue where you left off. You lose all your power-ups, but it's very forgiving. So if you want to play through the game and are just very patient, you can do so in one sitting. But it's a good thing also that they have these password system. It's like a 4-digit combination. And yeah, it's a good, nice little game. So 1-6 is more or less 1-5 all over again. Same. So 1-7 is the boss fight between you and the blue guy. So he has this, he drops like magnetic bombs. So the way I beat him was I just ran around the stage and dropped bombs everywhere, and he more or less killed himself off. And then the whole thing gets really ridiculous because it turns into a mech battle. So the mech battle can be cheesed, and that's what I did. You can apparently, if you stand all the way to the right, he can't hit you. His sprite goes over you, but it does no damage. So all you have to do is stand in the corner and once or twice just peek out, drop a bomb, and take him out. And he can take a lot of hits, this boss, but once he's taken down, his base blow up along with him, and yeah, on to stage 2-1. So 2-1 introduces the bombable fire. So if you put a bomb next to a fire, it will momentarily take it out so you can cross it, and then it will, get back into commission again. And this is the red boss guy's world. And it also introduces these flammable enemies. And the first stage has it's a furnace. So if you put a bomb into the furnace, it will go off in intervals, and there will be explosions more or less everywhere. It's easy to do this to take out enemies, but it might as well just get you off the game as well, killing you outright, because I always find out the hard way all the time in these games. I always blew myself up. So 2-2 introduced these purple googly things that moves really fast in straight lines. I don't really know what they are. It also introduced one of my favorite bomb upgrades, which is the remote control bombs. You just place it anywhere, you can detonate it whenever you want to. And it also introduced the spike bombs, but I didn't get to use them that much because I favor the remote control bombs. So 2-3 introduces these Yacc things that spit out fire. They look like basically like a red bagpipe that spit out fire like a flamethrower. That's the best description I can give for them. So 2-4 introduced the pumpkin bombs, and it's a really tight area to navigate. So these pumpkin bombs, once they get hit once, they kind of get lit, and then you have to blow them up again or something like that to take them out. And they run around across the stage, and it's a cramped stage, and this is where I gave up. So I got a passcode, but I was kind of happy anyway to get this far. I did it in one sitting, and I'm proud of myself. But yeah, so gameplay. Defeat the 5 main bad guys and save the world. The story is more or less meaningless, but just blow stuff up. Control, the D-pad moves Bomberman around. Start and select restarts the game. Get out of a game state. A drops the bombs. B detonates the remote control bombs. Start pauses. Graphics. It's colorful, bright, and the sprite work looks good. And for some reason, Bomberman is super chunky in this game. Sound and music. Yoshiko Fukuda made the music for this game, and it's upbeat, positive, and it gets the job done. Easter eggs, secrets, and glitches. So you can cheese the first boss by just going to the right hand of the screen all the way to the right and dropping a bomb now and then, because he can't hurt you if you're all the way to the right side. This game also supports the 4-player mode, which is you put in the Hudson adapter to the second controller port, and you can play as 4 Bombermans in the battle stages. So in conclusion, I wrote yes, play it. So I had a hard time getting into the game, but once I did, I had a lot of fun. And this game is not that hard on you. If you lose all your lives, you just continue where you left off. If you get a game over, all that happens is that you lose your power-ups and whatnot. But you keep the score anyway, so I don't know what's up with that. However, this game I would not like to play in long stretches, but due to the fact that it has like a password system, you can just die at one place, you can just pick it up later. That's a nice feature, a 4-digit kind of password system that's kind of nice. And if you want to get to the last boss, you can probably look up some cheat codes online or So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.